and they want to see what we do, what the business actually is involved. So I want to welcome you. If you're a guest, just relax, sit back. If you need to take some notes, take some notes after the meeting. Get back to the person who invited you. They will give you more information on what the business is. So without further ado, let me go straight to the business presentation. First, today we have a very exciting guest, somebody who's been in the business for a very long time. I think she's been in the business for over 15 years. Maybe let me not preempt her story. She's the best one to tell her story by herself. My name is Pascal Olo. I am trained as a civil engineer, Kenyans by birth, but Betty and I live in South Africa. The reason why we started this business is very simple. We wanted to make an extra $200 a month because when we came to South Africa, I came to study and to look for a job. And after I got a job, I realized that when the family is growing, the needs of the family are not met because of an increasing needs the family has. You know, when I was growing up, my father used to say, go to school, get a good education, and get a good and secure job with the government. That advice no longer works. Education is important, yes, because it opens some doors that it wouldn't open if you didn't have education, but it's not complete. The whole system is not complete. So we decided, let's try something that we can actually get additional income. The other challenge we had is that one of our children has got sickle cell, and because of it, Betty decided to become a full-time parent, a full-time mother. And that means that we had to depend on the salary of one person. That's what drove us to start the business. Initially, we said, if you make $200 a month, that's fine. But after 7 months of very hard work, our income reached $1,000 a month. That's when I paid attention to the business. So if you're a guest, I hope you pay attention. Let's get to and explore Neolife. What is Neolife? Neolife is a company that started in 1958, was started by this gentleman, Jerry Brasfield. Jerry Brasfield, I think, has turned 85. And the reason Jerry Brasfield started this business is because when he was a teenager, he had very, very serious asthma. And his mother gave him natural remedies. And when his health improved, he began to think that maybe other people have got serious illnesses because of lack of good nutrition. There's a nutritional gap between what people eat and what their body needs. That's where the vision or the dream of this company started. So since 1958, is now 67 years this year, we've had a very exciting time in business. And that shows you the longevity and the stability of the company. We have pioneers in cellular nutrition. What is cellular nutrition? You see, diet is what you put in your mouth. Nutrition is what your cells actually get. And there's a big difference between the two. One of the things that controls or regulates the amount of nutrition a cells get is the cell membrane. And that cell membrane needs what we call tree and N to be able to absorb the nutrients efficiently. We've had hundreds of milestone achievements in the nutrition industry. Some of the world's first, for example, we've got a product called carotenoid complex. Is the only product that increases the human immune system by 37% after using it for 21 days. And the Department of Agriculture in the US, after Neolife made these claims, they did a test without the company knowing. Afterwards, when they came, we tested your product and your claims are actually true. And then we've got very exciting stories all around the world. Around the world, we're in 55 countries. In Africa, we're in 14 countries, starting in the West Africa, then Southern Africa, then East Africa. This is the areas where Neolife does business. And the combined population of the countries where we do business is about 500 million people. So you can imagine the size of the market that we need to fulfill with giving them first-class products. Another exciting story we've had is people's life changing. Betty and I had the privilege to attend the World Team Vocation Conference in Cape Town last weekend, and we had very, very exciting stories. People who coming from there's a particular that really arrested my attention. He's a gentleman who did a course in civil engineering at Yaba College in Lagos, but he couldn't get a job. The only job he could get is a motorcycle rider. In East Africa, call them boda boda. In East Africa, call them boda boda. In Nigeria, they call them Okada rider. This man, somebody showed him the business, and he took it seriously. After 2 to 3 years, his income had reached $3,000 a month. So we have very exciting stories from around the world. This is a range of products that Neolife manufactures. We start with the skin and personal care range of products, things like hair shampoos, hair conditioners, hand and body lotion. Then we have the health supplements. These are products to improve our health. 60% of our sales average is the health supplements. Then we have the cleaning range of products. The cleaning range of products is based on two things: low burden, low dose. That means you can use these products and discharge them to the environment without harming the environment. They are concentrates. So we've got really a fantastic range of products. These are the scientists who develop our products. One of the things that this industry really needs is high quality products, because the business model we use is person to person education of our customers. And if you're dealing person to person and your products are not up to scratch, your customers just go elsewhere. So we've got a group of scientists called the Scientific Advisory Board. Their job is just to do research and development of the products, from the sourcing of the raw material, from the designing of the product, the quality assurance, the manufacturing process, the packaging, the testing of the products at each process before it gets to the customer, from the farm to the laboratory to when it leaves the port. For example, some of the products made in the US, when they arrive in Durban in South Africa, when they arrive in Mombasa or Dar es Salaam, wherever, the company tests the products at each specific location to make sure the potency of the products is still there. So we've got a rich scientific heritage in our business. And then nutrition. What is nutrition? Nutrition is what your cells get. Diet is what you put in your mouth. So nutrition starts at the cell level. They estimate that the human body has 73 trillion cells, and you are as healthy as your cells. So this is the one on the left is an unhealthy cell. The cell membrane is not soft and permeable, therefore nutrients do not go in efficiently, and waste does not come out efficiently, and you have what we call the chronic fatigue syndrome. That is, people are tired and they don't know why. They go to the doctor, they look at checks, then nothing seems to be wrong. Is because your cells are not getting nutrition. On the right-hand side, you have a healthy cell. Nutrients go in efficiently, and waste comes out. This is a cell that membrane is working efficiently, and one of the products you need to have this process working efficiently is called Tri-NN. Tri-NN is a green capsule, and in this package, Pro Vitality, we have 4 products that help or gives you a complete nutritional solution to health problems. Tri-NN helps the cells to absorb nutrients. It helps our hormones to function properly. Carotenoid complex is a dark brown capsule. This is made from the red colored fruits and vegetables, tomatoes, apples, berries, and all that. Then we have the yellow one, which is a fish oil. The omega-3 is very good to improve our joints. It reduces inflammation. It helps with the brain function. It's got a lot of health benefits for our body. Then the multi is a multi-mineral complex to give your body all the mineral complex you need. This is a source of all those products: fish, whole grains to make Tri-NN, the fruits and vegetables to make carotenoid complex, and then vitamins and minerals for different kinds of fruits and vegetables. Now, let's look at the home care range of products. The home care range of products are products that are manufactured They are concentrates, and therefore, if you need to use them, you mix them in water. The one on the right is called LDC, light duty concentrate. That one you mix 1 to 5 with water. That means this 1 liter bottle will give you 6 liters of the usable product, and that means you save a lot of cost. The other advantage is versatility. It means that this one product can be used for different things. In our home, we use LDC for cleaning the dishes, cleaning the bathroom. I use it for showering. I use it for shaving. We use it for cleaning the tiles. I use it for washing the car, cleaning the dishes, cleaning the cooker, all those things. One simple product, LDC. Lovely one. The other one is Super 10. Super 10 is a heavy duty concentrate. You mix it 1 to 10. If you have heavy duty cleaning in your home, sometimes maybe because you haven't been using the right products, maybe your toilet seats or your bathtub is beginning to acquire a brown color, spray Super 10 on it and leave it for about 10 minutes. When you come, you'll be surprised at how clean it is. So low dose, low burden, and earth friendly. And then we have this fantastic product. You see, in Africa, most people get their food from small-scale farmers. Because small-scale farmers, it's possible for somebody to have 2 acres, 5 acres, to grow their food to supply, and the extra they sell to the local market. What does Supergrow do? Supergrow helps your crops to absorb nutrients efficiently, helps with the absorption of water, because one of the things it does, it breaks the surface tension of water, and therefore your crops are able to absorb water efficiently. It's a wetting agent, it's an adjuvant, emulsifier. It simply means it helps plants absorb fertilizers, absorb nutrients from the soil more efficiently if you didn't have this. There have been fantastic results that people have when they use Supergrow. If you're a guest and you're interested in this, speak to the person who invited you. They'll give you more information. Then you have a skincare range of products, the nutrients. We have things to cleanse and detoxify your skin. We have things to balance and invigorate your skin. And there has to be a balance of moisture in your skin, not too dry and not too wet. Then you have something to activate and nourish your skin, because your skin is constantly being replaced. The old skin dies and falls away, then the new skin emerges. Then you need to rejuvenate to regulate the aging process. So we've got very fantastic products that helps with the skin. Now, let's talk about business. I'm sure some of the guests who are here want to know how to build a business. How do you create this opportunity to generate income? Let's see what happens. You're going to, if you decide to join the Neolife family, you're going to become an independent distributor. You're not employed by Neolife. You're an independent distributor. So, one of the most important things for you to succeed in this business, you need to have a dream. That is, you need to have something you've never had before, because for very many different reasons. Some people have a dream to buy a good car. Some people have a dream to travel around the world. Those of you who just joined the business or have been in the business for a while, the next world convention is going to be Egypt. Egypt is quite a fascinating destination because it's got very ancient and exciting history. Some people have a dream to build a house for their family. Some people have a dream for financial freedom. I don't know what your dreams are. When Betty and I started, our dream was to earn an extra $200 a month. When we achieved 1,000 within 7 months, we increased our dream. We wanted to buy a large family car. We wanted to move to a bigger house, because when we started in the business, we were staying in a flat, and because we have boys, our neighbors kept complaining that our boys are making noise. So eventually we got our dream house, which we live in today. So how does this business work? This business works when you do 3 things every day. We call them 3 daily success habits. First one, you use the products. If you start the business, the first thing is in your starter package, you'll get some products for you to use. And the reason why you need to use the product is very simple. First, you're supporting your business. Number two is that the people you recommend the product, the business to, want to know that you also believe in the products. The second thing you do is you share the business and the product. What does that mean? Sharing the product means the people who are not interested to becoming business builders as distributors become our customers, and you make a small profit from them. But you also share the opportunity by introducing other people to be promoters and users of the products. This is where the money is. This is how you build a team that generates sufficient volume to give you an income. And the third thing we do every day is personal development. It simply means that you take time to learn, you take time to be a better person, you take time to develop skills, you take time to do what it takes to build a network and build a team. Because the moment you join this business and you introduce somebody else, you're a business leader. And you need to have knowledge about the products. You need to have knowledge about the compensation plan. You need to have the knowledge about of the policies and procedures. You need to have knowledge on how to deal and handle people. That comes with practice. Now, let's see in practice how this business is working. This is you. You've decided you want to join Neolife. You purchase your starter kit. You become a Neolife distributor. And the first thing is you use the products. Okay? Let's say in this example, either you buy ProVitality or you buy 3NN for your own use. The next thing you do is you begin to look for customers. That is, people who need our products. Can you get people who need our products? Definitely. I know without a doubt that there are almost everybody has nutrition deficiency in what they eat. That is why the lifestyle-related illnesses are on the rise. Things like diabetes, high blood pressure, arthritis. All these illnesses are related to our diet or our bad lifestyles. Okay, so the thing is, look for 6 people who are going to buy this product from you and you make a profit. If you do that, your average income is about $30. Is it a lot of money? No. Would somebody give it to you free of charge? No. Okay, but that is just the beginning. What do you do next? The next thing is you start introducing other people to be users and promoters of the products. You start to build a network of product users. In this example, this is you. You've introduced your friend who is registered as a distributor, your relative, and your neighbor. They do 250 PV. Let me explain what PV is. Because the business that operates in over 50 countries around the world, it's difficult to use currency to measure the business size. So the company has standardized the measurement of business using the PV system or point value system. 100 PV or 100 point value is roughly 160 to 170 US dollars in monetary value. So in this example, your friend, relatives, and neighbors have built a business that is doing 250 PV. In total, you and your team have done 1,000 PV. If you do that, your retail profit and bonuses is about $300. So it's beginning to look a little bit exciting. $300 is good income. What do you do next? You begin to duplicate yourself. It simply means you begin to teach the people you brought into the business to do what you do. And that takes effort. In fact, I find that if you really want to understand this business, think about a parent. A parent has to train, guide, educate, support a child until they are 21. That's when they become an adult. Our business is something similar. The people who join the business join with little or no experience, and they need your support. So you train them to do what you do. It's called duplication. Parents, you see, parents duplicate themselves in their children. So this business is not new. It's as old as mankind. So your friend, your relative, neighbors, you teach them to build their own organizations. They're doing 1,000 PV each. You're also doing 1,000. The total volume that you generate is 4,000 PV. You become a director in the business. Your income is about $500 to $750 a month. The next thing you do is you teach all these people you brought in, your neighbor, your friends, relatives, to reach director level, which you also reached previously. If you do that, you become a wild team member. Your income now goes between 1,500 and 3,000 US dollars a month. When you reach that level, then you begin to travel. You begin to enjoy life. Okay? If you want to increase really the income that really is exciting, build other director. In this structure, you build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 director legs. We call them legs. Your total business is doing more than 100,000 PV. You become a president's team member. Your income is $6,000 plus. That is what you earn when you become a president's team member. So at this juncture, I want to introduce our guest speaker. Gladys, if you can hear me, just raise your hand so that I can unmute you. Or if you're a co-host, just unmute yourself. Ah, there you are. Okay. Hi, Gladys.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, and you?
I'm good.
Yes. We're enjoying this cold in Pretoria,
Okay.
but we missed you in Cape Town.
I'll be there in Egypt.
You'll be there in Egypt.
Yes.
Fantastic. So take it away. I'm really been looking forward to your story.
Okay. All right. Wow. Good evening, everyone. And anyone who is not in the evening zone, whatever the time it is, good regards from here in Kenya. I'm super excited for sure because this business just came to answer some prayers I had made some years ago. My name is Gladys Njura. I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya, born and bred in the eastern side of Kenya. I went to school. I finished school like everybody else. Went to the university to do my degree in education. I'm a high school teacher. And immediately when I finished high school, when I finished college, as I was waiting to be posted by the government, I did some experiment. I was like, I hear that I've seen a bank advertise they're expanding. Why don't I try and get a job? Actually, banking was always my dream job. And so I actually applied and I got employed. I started working for one of the banks here in Kenya. And it was a good experience. Before I go there, let me just say I'm a mother, I'm a family person, and I have two beautiful daughters who are 26 and above. Now they are adults. So, and it's been an exciting journey. So I go to work in the bank, and it's an exciting place. But very quickly, I learned that when you work in the bank, you get exposed to a lot of loans. And that becomes the way of life. You want a home, you get a loan. You want a car, you get a loan. You want anything, you get a loan. And by and by, because you also have family obligations, I actually realized my money was not enough. And for me, this loan business was just not my thing. It was not in my DNA. So here I am. I want my kids to go to the best schools. I want to live in a big house. I want to do big stuff. And lo and beyond, I actually realized that the money is not enough. So I had worked for 5 years. And on my fifth year, towards the end of that year in December, I actually had a conversation with God. I talked to God, on a personal level. And I was in my bedroom and I just said, you know what, God, it's just not making sense. My money is not enough. My job is fine, right? The money is not enough. If only you can give me another job that I can do after work, I'm game. I'll do it. Even if it takes 2 or 3 hours after work, I was willing to do that. Because I used to tell myself, I hear people in the US have 2, 3 jobs. And at that point, I was ready for that. And I remember that was at December. The following year, towards the end of January or early February, I don't remember very well, the year 2002, I get invited to a meeting. Somebody very, very close to me, I'll forever treasure her. She knows herself wherever she is in the world. And she told me, sis, I've come across an American company and I've been told if we join, we are going to make some extra money. We are going to travel the world. That's all she told me. And she told me, I hear we need to go to a meeting, and I have been going for the meetings. Would you come? And I remember the first meeting I didn't go, the second meeting I didn't go, the third meeting, there was a meeting at Safari Park. And yes, I had been to Safari Park, but I had gone as a student at the university. And so I wouldn't have enjoyed much. And so here I'm told there's a meeting, there's a weekend function. They're having guests from South Africa. Just come and have a look. Remember, now on my attorneys are looking for something extra to do. I needed to add an income. In fact, I was saying, God, if I just make an extra $100, I'm home and dry. At least it will really sort the groceries and the small, small things. And so I remember that afternoon, Saturday, I go to this meeting. I can't exactly remember how it was, but vaguely I remember I saw grown-ups jumping up and down with excitement. They were so happy. They were so excited. And I remember I in the bank, you're not even allowed to laugh loudly. The way you just laugh. You can only, in an organized manner. And here I meet grown-ups who are so happy. They are jumping up and down. And that really excited me. And then I got testimonies from one of my two mentors, two of my mentors out of the many I have. And I remember that day, a gentleman called Charlie Bolton, he went to the podium and he gave his testimony. In fact, that meeting was his. It was a weekend function planned by him. And he said how the business was good for him. He had done it since 1973 from very challenging times. And that day, he was earning something close to $5,000. And I said, what? One person? If they can pay one person $5,000, then at least my 100 will not miss. So I put a tick there. Then another gentleman, Hansi Kronje, he goes on stage and says he has traveled the world, many cities. And he said he is a pastor. And I said, you know what? I'm in. For whatever it takes, I am so in. So I remember telling my uplines, you know what? I don't have money right now. But on the payday, I give them that day when we are paid. Please be there by 10 a.m. Because if you don't come by 10 a.m., I'll have sorted out my debts, I'll have paid my bills. I don't know whether I'll have the money. But if you come, I'll give, and then I know how to sort myself out. And that's exactly what happened. I remember that day, Judy Njeru and the lady who had invited me, it was actually my elder sister, they came. I didn't have the money. I had already paid those who came early, but I made arrangements from one of my, in Kenya we have things called with chamas, where we put money together as friends and then you can take a soft loan. And that's what I did. And I gave them the money. I remember them telling me, you know what, Gladys, now that you've paid the money, please create time on Saturday. We are going to do a kit launch for you. We will launch your business. And it sounded such a big thing. It wowed me. And I waited for Saturday and they launched my business. They showed me how to do the business. Of course, the one thing that they told me that has carried the day for me, they told me, Gladys, don't worry. We are going to teach you. As long as you avail yourself for training, we will teach you everything we know. And you're going to get to where you want to go. And yeah, that's how I started it. And for me, I started out. How did I start out? Because, you know, when you have a salary, sometimes it goes off on the 15th. I was like, I urgently need money for daily sustenance. And one of the things that I really wanted to finish off with, and this one I must say, you know, in Kenya, we normally have house managers, the people who come to help you take care of the kids when you're at work. And as a mother, when you don't have money, sometimes you don't even want to ask your spouse. When you don't have money and the house help tells you, what will you eat tonight? You know, you devise a way and tell them, you know what? When this and this time comes, just go to the shop, buy what we need, A, B, C, D, with your money, I will refund it. But in short, you know, you didn't have the money. So you're actually borrowing money from your house manager. And that thing used to kill me. You know, you're borrowing soft money from your house manager, and yet you pay them so little, and that little you still want to go for it. I really wanted to get rid of that habit. And so for me, when I started out, they told me about the products. I started with Formula 4. I used to be very tired. In fact, I remember leaving job. I would go, sit on the couch and watch and just relax because I'm tired. And I would watch just soap operas, you know. I wouldn't even do any housework. But let me tell you, with the Formula 4, the energy I got, I'm telling you to date, that energy I have today, I didn't have that time. And I was in my early, I think I was 30 years or so that time. And I was like, wow, I got so energetic, I got so excited. And they told me I use products for my children. I had a daughter who had bronchitis. I had a daughter who had acute tonsillitis. I started, now I didn't have much money. Remember, I joined because I was broke. And so what I did, they told me, Gladys, if you make sales, you'll make profits. And those profits will help you with whatever you need, plus the children's products. And that's what I did. And let me tell you, I got excited. I got to understand about the carpet glow, the LDC, the Super 10, the G1 laundry, the care. Those products were just amazing for me. Not to add now the others like omega-3 and Vita Squares, you know, for children. So most of my colleagues had small children. And I started every time lunchtime rings like this, I don't sit in the office. I walk out of the office for 1 hour. I go and pitch business or the products to somebody. And I started making a lot of sales. And that's how I navigated to help my children to also get better. I want to tell you, since that time, my kids who I used to take to hospital and my medical cover used to get finished at the end of the year, before the end of the year, it's gone. Good news, my kids have not gone to the hospital since that time. My goodness, I was so excited. And my mom had acute arthritis. We put her into the program. We were told to give it for 6 months, see how it goes. We did that. Now, my mom is in her 80s, and I want to report to you, my mom, when I was young, she was always in hospital. For the last so many years, my mom has never been admitted in hospital. And that has been amazing. So the products were fantastic. They really helped us. My brother and sister had tonsillitis. That was sorted out. And now I was just so convinced about the products. Now, at that point, my sponsor, they would tell me, Gladys, you need to start being paid a commission. And I would go to meetings. I find people saying I'm a director, I'm my own boss. When I wake up in the morning, I see the boss in the mirror. And now that became my next goal. I used to tell myself, Gladys, if you didn't have a job, does it mean you can't feed, you can't eat? And so I went full throttle. It wasn't easy for me because of the time factor. I only was able to do some lunch times and evening time and Saturday. And that's how I built my business. I can't say it was 100% easy, but it was fun. I've enjoyed every step of the way. I love this business. I enjoy it through, or even through the challenges. My uplines taught me to smile through the challenges and the handles. And I started building a team. In 1 year, 2 months, I became a director. I took quite a while to become a director, 1 year, 2 months. I did the business. Then that is when I resigned from the bank. I resigned from the bank when I was only 1 year, 2 months in the bank, in the business, and I committed myself. The same commitment I gave my boss. I actually told them I'm taking a leave to do my master's. But I told myself those 2 years I will wait. If it works, it works. But for me, I was not looking back. I did the business. It was super exciting. In a few months, I had a director. Another few months, by the end of that year, I became a world team member. And I was taken to Windsor Golf and Country Club. And I remember when I went to Windsor, I was with my sister and her husband, myself and my husband and my other sister. We were the three families and many other people, and we were so excited. We had never experienced anything like that. My goodness, it was fun. And from there now we started working towards world travel. I've traveled to some destinations, and I still want to really travel more. And it's been just an amazing, amazing time. The other benefits I got is now we started being taught. I remember Charlie telling us from a while ago that you need to save, even if it's as little as $10 a month. And I learned to do that with my friends. And we've been able to do quite a number of some activities in several investment companies I am in. And it's been an amazing, amazing time. I see myself retiring when I have quite some cash, not just hard investments, even liquid cash that is generating income for me. And it's been an amazing time. My children went to the university, never had problems, finished that and forgot about it. My parents are doing fine. In fact, I tell people my immediate goal right now is to be able to push the kind of money I give my parents. I want to push that money to $200 a month, if possible 300. That is one of my immediate goals right now. Of course, I want to travel the world more. When I saw what happened in Cape Town and I missed it through a whisker like this, I was like, my goodness, I'm gonna do this more than as I did it even in the earlier days. So I'm super, super excited. I have a beautiful team. We are focused, and I want to retire when I'm a very manyanga grandmother. I'm a potential grandmother right now. And I want to make sure that I have put systems that are really good for me to take care of my grandchildren. I can't wait for that time. And I want to tell you guys, Neolife is an amazing place to be. I was promised health. We got it with my family. I was promised money. I want to tell you for the last so many years, I've been making at least, call it between 12 to 15, sometimes slightly more, $1,000 as a director, and it's been an amazing thing. But I know I have potential to do more. I really do. And so I'm working for the big league now. I'm really focused to work on my president team step really working on it hard, laying the foundation. And I want to encourage everybody on this call. Neolife is not just a business. It's a serious opportunity. The health, the money, the friends, the lifestyle, because we also do local lifestyles here, even with our team. And of course, you join a very positive community. I've enjoyed those years I've been in Neolife more than I ever enjoyed when I was working in the bank. That I can tell you for a fact. And I have been surrounded with some very fantastic people. My upline, Judy Njeru, she's just an amazing, amazing upline. Pascal and Betty, I know the support they give us. I mean, we really get excited. And of course, Hansi and Charlie, and it's been an amazing, and Mike Vanderventure, it's been an amazing time. So I want to tell the guests who are on this call, in a parting shot, what can I tell you? Times are changing. Things are getting tight by the day. Whether it is within our nations, you know what's happening in Kenya. You know, we are among the most vocal people. Things are changing. It's no longer business as usual. And even the world out there, we know things are really changing. But you know, God is giving us this opportunity for us to put a foundation for our retirement. You want to retire healthy and rich? This business will do it for you. And more specifically, without putting in hundreds of thousands and millions of money. How cool is that? So if you're on this call, if Gladys can do it, I had never even sold a big G in my life. I had never sold nothing. But I came and I was taught how to move the products, how to share the information, how to be a people person. I was a pessimist. Now I'm an optimist. If you're on this call, please, after this meeting, reach out to the person who invited you and tell them, you know what? Send me that website. I'm going to log myself. I'm going to join right away. If not, I'm going to make an arrangement. When are we meeting? We start this journey. Let me tell you guys, business loves speed, and we are told that we have to plan for the future. If you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. We can't afford to fail our future and that of our generations. So with that, my upline, Pascal, let me take it back to you. And thank you very much for the chance.
Gladys, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to our trip to Egypt. Definitely. You've said something that has reminded you of my childhood. Big G. I think maybe most of the people who are here today, I'm not sure whether Big G is still in Kenya.
He's
still there?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Fantastic. I've never seen Big G here in South Africa. Gladys, thank you so much for your wonderful story. At least people who are watching this presentation for the first time I think at the back of their mind, they're saying, if Gladys can do it, I also can do it. Thank you so much for your story. We really appreciate. And now let's wrap up this presentation so that the guests who are here can get back to the person who invited them to discuss the way forward. One of the things that Gladys has been talking about is traveling. Yes, we've traveled quite a number of places. Neolife has been traveling to various destinations: Victoria Falls, Dubai, Hong Kong, Abu Dhabi, Mauritius, different places the company takes you when you reach a certain level of success in the business. Something else that the company does is leadership school. Leadership school is when you reach a certain level, the company pays for your accommodation for 4 days, and you go through leadership training because the company realizes that you've become a leader in your group or your team, and you're going to build a larger business that you built before. In Kenya, the last one was in Mombasa. That has been about 3 or 4 weeks ago. In South Africa, it was in Pretoria. There's a fantastic hotel about 15 kilometers from where we live. So I know there's some people in our team who are looking forward to the leadership school in September, October there. So keep on put your foot on the gas pedal, you'll get to the leadership school. How do you get started in this business? This is a business, so you need some initial money to start your business. It's called the business starter kit. In Botswana, it's 720 to 1450 pula. In South Africa, it's between 910 and 1980 rand. In Kenya, 9,200, 9,005, and there's another package for 11,700. In Nigeria, it's 68,000 or 100,000 naira. In Tanzania, 167,000 and 217,000 Tanzania shillings. In Uganda, it's 250,000 or 280,000 Uganda shillings. USA, $75. Togo, 46,200 or 61,500 francs CFA. Italy, 64 euros. Ghana, 800 or 1,300 Ghanaian cedis. In Cameroon is 60,000 or 74,000 francs CFA. So this is what you need to get your business started. You'll get an office in a box, a mobile office. Everything you need to run your business: order forms, application forms, policies and procedures, compensation plan, product catalog, price list, everything you need to run your business, and some products for you to use. A very important thing for this business to succeed, you need to take charge of your life, okay? Flexible working schedule. If you are employed, you don't need to quit your business. Just put aside 1 or 2 hours a day to do the business. If you can't do it over the weekday, do it over the weekend or lunch break. So flexible schedule. You work from home, you don't need an office. Your office is the kit that you get, is an office in a box. The next thing is you save money. In fact, in South Africa, the Eagle team, that is Charlie's group, did a product price comparison between our products and the ones in the supermarket. You will find that you save a lot of money if you use these products. Residual income, that is, the money you're earning now is for the work you put in many years ago. Betty and I have been earning money every month for the last 29 years, and the company has paid us every single month without fail. The money we're earning now is the effort we put in 20 years ago. That is what residual income is. Quality time with your family. When you build a business to a certain level, let me explain that. You see, our children have watched Betty and I building the business from home. So they know what it is to work hard. They know what it is to pay attention to things, to study, to improve yourself. So you have a quality time with your family. Financial freedom. Financial freedom simply means if your current income stops, you don't panic because the business is supplying everything you need for your needs. Be your own boss. Remember, every morning, if you look at the mirror, greet the boss. In fact, I was reading something today that if you really want to change your attitude towards life, if you really want to improve, every morning when you look at yourself in the mirror, give yourself a high five. You'll be surprised at how your attitude for that day is different. Brush your teeth. When you're finished, look at yourself in the mirror and just do a high five to yourself. High five. You will see your attitude for that day will be different. International travel, like we've been speaking about, Gladys has told you about international travel, education for your children, personal development, learning to become a better person. So this is what our business is. If you're a guest, get back to the person who invited you. They will give you more information. They will tell you how to get started. They'll put you in charge of the training program so that they can teach you how the business is built. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with the time and the decision you make? Ladies and gentlemen, you've been such a wonderful audience. Thank you. Good night and God bless.